Excellency, how does Iran look at this ongoing war, and where does Iran see this war going? Perhaps a lot depends on Iran and the non-state actor in the region, and perhaps they are the deciding factor that where this war will go, whether it will remain between Palestine and Israel or it will become a regional conflict.
Unfortunately, the tragedy which is going on in Gaza now is continue. But if we want to answer your question exactly, we should consider the roots and causes of this conflict. The fact is that Israel, Zionists, has entered Palestine, occupied the homeland of Palestinian. They established a state there and deprived people of Palestine. Since the beginning of establishment of Israel, Palestinians try to recapture their homeland, and still they are combating to recapture it. The reality is that nothing more. Despite the coverage of the mainstream media, which try to show that Israel is right, Palestinians are, terrorists, the reality is that, and Palestinians have the right to defend themselves, defend homeland. So, Israel as a cancer, we believe it as a cancer, since it has grown in the region, is the main cause of the instability in the region. Israel has occupied Palestine. Israel has occupied some part of Jordan. Israel has occupied Golan in Syria. Israel has occupied some parts of Lebanon. In each part of these countries, some resistance group was established. In Lebanon, Hezbollah is defend itself. Without the deterrence of Hezbollah, Israel was going to enter Lebanon once more. Without the resistance of Hamas, Israel was going to capture West Bank, Gaza, the whole Gaza. So, in my idea, as long as the policy of Israel and the intention of Israel to capture, to occupy, and to expand its territory in the region, the conflict will continue and the resistance will continue.
Okay. His Excellency, also, do you see the failure of international organization and perhaps the diplomacy? Because excessive diplomacy has been put in place in West Asia, and perhaps the world leaders are unable to stop the ongoing war or to end the humanitarian crisis. How do you look at that?
The main international organization is Security Council, United Nations,
which holds obligation. Yeah.
It has too many resolutions about Palestine. But what happened to them? With veto of United States, it was all cancelled. Then in the recent session of the Security Council, also United States supported Israel. We believe that the main cause of the failure of the international institution to find a solution for this crisis, to stop the war, to stop the bloodbath which is going on in Palestine, is support of United States. United States is a main factor for escalation of the problem now. United States invite other players in the region to not escalate the situation. But at the same time, it sends different support to Israel, weapon, military equipment, economic supports, and even its media are all covering Israel the events as they want to make the picture as they are going to make it for the whole world.
Okay. Ambassador, Israel has been naming Iran from the first day for backing Hamas. And in fact, many Israeli experts say, when I speak to them, that with the precision Hamas did this operation, with the precision, with the technology advancement, it looks like that it cannot be done without the support of a professional army or force. Now, when they say professional army, then they are hinting at the army of your country. In fact, in one of these statements, the army spokesperson did mention that they have recovered some ammunitions, and 5 to 10% of those ammunitions are from Iran, and some RPGs were recovered which were North Korea made. How would you like to respond to this accusation that Israel has been making, and they are perhaps saying it every day that it is Iran which is backing Hamas, and perhaps Iran supported Hamas in terms of providing them funds, logistics? How do you see this accusation? To what extent this accusation is right? And also, I will take a follow-up question. So there was a meeting also in which Foreign Minister of Iran met Ismail Haniyeh in Qatar. Perhaps that is also could be seen as endorsing Hamas post the attacks. So how do you justify that meeting? And also, how do you convince the world that Iran has no role to play in what Hamas did in Israel?
Well, this is a baseless allegation against Iran. We spiritually support Palestine. We spiritually support Palestinian, and we are not ignored. We are not rejected. We proudly speak about our support to Palestine, and our Supreme Leader explicitly mentioned this without any fear. But concerning this operation, military operation, which has done by Hamas, Hamas, Hezbollah, all the resistance group which was established against Israel are independent. They have their own national interest. Hezbollah's interest differs from Hamas' difference. Hezbollah is defend its own, its Lebanon territory. Hamas is defending territory of Palestine. Houthi are defending their own land. So this is the reality. Concerning our relation with Palestine, yes, we do have good relation with all groups of Palestine. We'll have a good relation with, but the meeting of Dr. Amir Abdullahian with Ismail Haniyeh was after the operation.
Yes.
Not before. There was not any coordination. They has done their own, according to their analysis, according to their decision. They has.
But open endorsement also raises doubts.
We openly support Palestine. We did not reject this vision. But whether Iran is part of these clashes, the current situation, no. We are not part of this. Palestinians are. Concerning the technology or precision, anything, any knowledge is available. No. At the previous time, the technology of making a missile is what it was keeping in safe. But now you can find it whenever you want, wherever you want. Even in internet, you can, in Daesh was training, ISIS was training its forces through internet. Was absorbing people, forces through internet. Hamas, other groups have access to knowledge now, and it is not necessary for Iran to supply anything physically.
And the ammunitions which have been recovered
No,
as per the
it's
Israeli
a
army?
it is a
Baseless? Okay. Ambassador, moving on to the next question related to the non-state actors only. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and Houthi groups in Yemen. There's one thing common between these three groups, and that is their links with Iran. In fact, Israel and other major powers in the West blame Iran for the instability in the region. You are blaming Israel for the instability, they blame you for the instability. How would you like to react to that? And does Iran help these non-state actors, terror groups, to perhaps advance their military capabilities and funds time and again? And can you confirm that or deny that?
You know, how can I explain to you? According to our theology, we have to support any oppressed people. Oppressed people. We believe that Palestinians are oppressed. They have deprived from their homeland. We believe that Israel is oppressing the whole region, as I mentioned before. So we are supporting all the oppressed people in Yemen, in Lebanon, in Palestine. So as long as the policy of Israel continue, the invasion of Israel will continue, the support of Iran for those people who are oppressed will be available.
Okay. Ambassador, on one end you are saying that Iran support these groups because Iran believes in supporting the oppressed, those who are being oppressed by Israel. This is what you meant to say. But then on the other end, you also say that Iran has not backed Hamas in the recent attacks.
Yeah. They are independent groups. Okay. You know, Hamas is a reality. Hamas means Palestinian. You know, there is a try to separate Hamas from Palestinian. We believe that Hamas is equal Palestinian. Okay. Hamas equal, you know, the potential of Palestinian is not less.
Then how would you explain to countries like India? Because India was perhaps the first few countries to call it a terror strike. India has perhaps condemned terror strike, and India has also abstained from voting in favor of the draft resolution which was proposed by Jordan, which only spoke about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, but did not had mention or didn't have a mention of terror angle in that draft resolution. India abstained. How will you convince your friends in India that Hamas, as per you, Hamas is fighting for those who have been oppressed by Israel, but countries like India and the other various countries have called it a terror strike? How will you convince them?
You know, any country looks at the issues according to its own national interest and according to its analysis and how it sees the situation. India is a power in the world, and we are in a close touch with Indian officials about the current situation in Palestine. According to what we received from Indian, there is no changes in the basic viewpoint of India toward Palestine. India's policy toward Palestine.
Reaffirm support for two-state solution. Yes.
India, we are asking India to play active role in this case. India has good relations with the United States, with Israel and other countries, and it has capacity to play an active role to stop this humanitarian crisis and catastrophe which is going on to stop the bloodshedding in Gaza.
Okay. Also, Ambassador, Abraham Accords were being signed, and perhaps it has been signed with many countries in the West Asia. In fact, there are some players in West Asia, including Iran, which was not very happy with countries from the Gulf signing the Abraham Accord. Many experts even believe that one of the reasons of the attacks by Hamas was this, and also even President Biden said that regional connectivity could be one issue because of which Hamas did this terror strike.
Let's answer to your question in this case. What happened to the Oslo plan? What happened to Madrid? Abraham Accord also will have the destination as same as the others. You know, Abraham Accord was external. You know, the Palestine issue has different stakeholder. You know, Palestinian is one part. Abraham Accord ignored them. Ignored them. They want to solve the problem of Palestine with signing contract between Israel and Arab, or for true normalization of relation between Arab states and Israel. What happened to Palestinian? It's natural that the Palestinian will be against such this accord. So I think the end of the Abraham Accord is failure. You know, it is not categorically, it will not reach to its goal which was planned to.
Okay. Since I went to Iran in July, and perhaps I got this opportunity to speak to a lot of Iranians, and they were quite hopeful that things are settling down in West Asia. In fact, there was a prisoner release also, which was mediated by Qatar. And in fact, the normal citizens in Iran, they were quite hopeful that we could see some hope of perhaps America diluting some sanctions that have been imposed on Iran. And in fact, if that happens, then countries like India can have a better trade, and both countries can come closer and can work together in a better way if sanctions are removed, and there could be an economic upliftment. Ambassador, the other players in West Asia, including Saudi Arabia, which is now transforming, UAE has already transformed, Qatar is transforming, are perhaps partnering with US and are transforming, are opening up economies and all. Do you see that the hope which Iranian had when I visited Iran in July in terms of sanctions being there, do you see that entire process has also got derailed because of this war?
You mean, I did not got your exact question.
I mean to say that there were a lot of hopes that President Biden, since President Biden came to office, that America will, I won't say that will remove sanctions completely, but there would be some sort of a relaxation that would be given.
You mean the effect of this current situation on the Iran-US?
Yes. So do you think that that also has got derailed? Because Iranians had a lot of hopes that things would get better between two countries.
You know, in Iranian mindset, United States is not faithful partner.
Okay.
You know, what it does not implement its commitment.
Okay.
We signed JCPOA with United States and other countries. Trump, President of United States, withdrew from this agreement, which was the best solution for the current problem between Iran and United States. So, sure, the current situation will affect, since the trust between Iran and United States is very weak. We do not trust United States. We do not trust. And Iranian people, and current situation and the policy of United States has proved that this country, this country's policy is not on the benefit of Iran. its orientation is against Iran.
So the sanctions are going to
And
continue.
sanction, there is, let me answer for you and for your viewers. We in Iran, we are planning our economy, our policy, according to with this consideration that the sanction will continue.
Yes. Got it.
We try to make our economy, our different development programs independent from nuclear issue, JCPOA, sanction, and we are doing our best to use our domestic sources for development. Okay. We are not and not depending on the foreign technologies.
Okay. Also, last two quick questions I would like to ask to you. One is regarding the Chabahar port.
Yeah.
If you ask me, then Chabahar did not take off the way it should have been, given the circumstances and the regional situation. Would like from you, is Iran upset India being part of the new economic corridor? Because I wanted to ask this question from to you from a long time. That is Iran upset that on one end, where Chabahar is concerned, it did not take off, and India is signing agreements with these countries to build a new economic corridor. Do you see that this new economic corridor, if it comes in place, is going to affect India's focus on Chabahar?
In my idea, there is no relation between these two corridors. Okay. North-South corridor is its direction is north-south. The new corridor, which is just a concept, nothing more. Okay. It is just a concept. Even the quality of this corridor is not, is not designed, and
but it has a lot of political messaging.
It has a lot of political messaging, and there is some differences whether it is against Iran or against China, or even it's competing Suez Channel. Mainly it will compete Suez Channel. I think that Egyptians are very worried about this new corridor.
Egyptians are worried.
Yeah, of course, because it will.
Turkey is also not happy.
Turkey too. So the reality is that Chabahar and North-South corridor is available now. For some technical issue, as you mentioned, it hasn't taken off, but is available. It's cheaper, it's safe, it's shorter. So international North-South corridor it is active now. Last year, a cargo from Finland came to India through North-South corridor, and Iran has planned to complete its railway network to Chabahar, and in the coming months it will be completed.
Okay. A very last question. There were some phone calls from Iran to Saudi Arabia and vice versa. The leaders from two countries are in constant touch with each other. Perhaps, what is the discussion taking place between the two countries? Because here we have two major players in West Asia. One player is fully anti-America. The other player is a friend and a strategic partner of America, and they are in constant touch with each other in these critical times. How would you explain this to my viewers?
Yeah. I think both two countries have reached to this point that a strong region would depends on the relation of these two main players.
Okay.
And the consequences of their differences has affected all the Islamic world, have affected all the region. So they have reached to this point to sit together, bridge the gap, and plan for the future. Now the relation is growing very fast. I inform you that our relation is growing very fast. The confidence building measure was very successful.
Yes.
In both sides, and both countries in the recent telephone call between Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Honorable President was about the whole region. They shared their concern about the current situation, and they agreed to intensify their efforts to stop the war in Gaza. And concerning the relation of Saudi Arabia with United States and Iranian policy toward United States, you know, these are separate issues.
Is Iran and Saudi Arabia on the same page?
You know, Saudi Arabia has, no one can ignore or reject that Saudi has good relation with United States. Yeah, no, there is no doubt about that. But we do have good relation with countries with different viewpoint. You know, it doesn't make. India has good relation with Israel. India has good relation with United States. But at the same time, we do have good relation with India, and India separately have good relation with Iran and Israel, Iran and United States. So Iran, Saudi Arabia is going. We felt good willingness in Saudi Arabia, and we are sure, and we have decided. We have made our decision as officially. We have made our decision to improve relation with Saudi Arabia and whole region. You know, the last point which I want to seize this opportunity is that we believe that the whole region should be strong, not just one state be strong. Instead of being strong, you know, Iran is a strong country, but instead of being strong, you know, alone, we believe that the whole region should be strong. If the whole region was strong, no groups such Zionists could enter the region, occupy the homeland of Palestinians and cause different. Or if the whole region was strong, United States could not enter Iraq and made such this catastrophe or massacre in Iraq. If the whole region was strong, United States could not enter Afghanistan and devastate the whole Afghanistan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you.
I hope that let's pray you, all Indian and Iran, all the people in all over the world, pray for peace and prosperity of all people.
Of the mankind.
Thank you.